Recording.
And I'm recording.
Recording.
Wow.
Episode 60. Welcome.
Wow, 60. That's 60 whole years of us making a podcast.
That's too long. But this week...
Too long.
This week we're talking about The Big Day by Chance the Rapper.
The Big Day. Man, I'm a greasy motherfucker today. Sorry, that's not relevant.
I'll do his little intro here. So his name is actually Chancellor Bennett. He's from Chicago, which I have some stuff that I want to read about his early life in Chicago that I found on Wikipedia here in a couple minutes. But he is a rapper, a singer, a songwriter, an actor, and an activist. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget about Chance, is that he donates a fuckload of money to inner city schools in Chicago because they're like severely underfunded. And so he gets that from his dad, who, let me get there. So his dad, his name's Ken, was an aide to a Chicago mayor named Harold Washington, and then he was also an aide to Barack Obama when he was a senator.
Nice.
And there was a part on here, it says, when Chance was 16, his father began to work in the Department of Labor during Barack Obama's first term. And he personally met Obama and discussed his aspirations to be a rapper, to which Obama responded with, word. The word word is in quotes.
That's my man. That's my man. My man Obama.
Yeah. And like, so he has a lot of like political influence. His mom also worked for the Attorney General in Illinois. So he is very like politically educated. I couldn't figure out what words I wanted to say there.
Woke.
He is politically woke. So he does a lot of charity work, and he donates a bunch of, he donated several millions of dollars to the inner city school system in Chicago, which is really cool. Nice. And he actually still lives in Chicago. He lived in LA with James Taylor? Someone.
James. His friend James.
James. 1 second. It's someone you're going to be like, what? They live together? Because it's somebody that you know. Not personally, but like somebody that you listen to.
He lived with my friend James.
Yeah, your friend James.
I don't think I have a friend named James. I don't think I know anybody named James.
You don't? James Blake.
Oh.
He lived with James Blake in Hollywood, in North Hollywood.
Huh. Interesting.
And he said, describing his time in North Hollywood, Chance called it, quote, ungodly.
Well, I can imagine. I have absolutely negative amounts of desire to ever live anywhere in the vicinity of Los Angeles.
No, thank you.
It makes me... that used to be my dream. I was like, I want to grow up and I want to live in LA and I'm going to be famous. And now I would rather do anything but that. Like, that just sounds awful.
So he...
I don't want that at all.
He has a rap collective, like a group of underground rappers that he works with a lot, including people whose names were in my head until I said the word including. You guys know.
James... Including James
so,
who's not a rapper.
And he also has a band called The Social Experiment, which I don't know if you've ever listened to any of their stuff.
I feel like I've heard
it's
of that.
It's very good. He does a lot of like singing in that. So like Chance the Rapper, he does all of his rapping. He has a little bit of singing sometimes, but it's mostly like talking. Yeah. But in The Social Experiment, he does sing, and it's quite good. I quite enjoy it. And then in 2017, he won Best New Artist at the Grammys, and he's been nominated for a bunch of other stuff, but that's his like highest, like most prestigious award that he has. Mm-hmm. He has roughly 21.8 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and roughly 4.5 million followers on Spotify. and he
Nice.
has 3 previous mixtapes. So he is known as the biggest independent rapper. So he is not signed to any labels. Everything he's done on his own. Um, and
Mhm.
he's gotten a lot of like support and backing from a lot of big names like Kanye and pretty much everyone that's on this album, and then everyone that's been on any of his mixtapes are all like bigger names who like help push him in the right direction. And one of the things that got him in the public eye was he was on. Do you remember when MySpace tried to relaunch as like a music platform?
Vaguely, but I was never allowed to use MySpace, so
Well, it
not
was in
really.
2014, so you would have been able to use MySpace, but they tried to relaunch.
No, I don't. I honestly don't remember
Yeah, they
that.
tried to relaunch as like
But sure.
a social network for music. So like being able to share music and like talk about it and all of that kind of stuff is what they tried to do in like 2014. And they used.
Well, and did a single person use
No, I
it?
don't think anybody used it. So I think it's dead again.
I feel less bad about not knowing about it then because I was like I had no idea that
But
happened.
he, one of his songs from I think from Acid Rap was in one of the commercials. So that kind of, since it was on TV, a lot of
Mm.
people started going towards him from that point. So his first mixtape is called 10 Day, and that was released in 2012. And then his second mixtape was called Acid Rap, which was released in 2013. And then his most recent mixtape is called Coloring Book, and that was in 2016. And that is my personal favorite of the 3.
Mhm. I mean obviously I know of Chance the Rapper because I'm not a
Yeah.
hermit, but I really like only knew of Acid Rap. But I mean I'm gonna be like not super have a lot to say about this because this is not my
Mm-hmm.
genre, you know. But you know, I gave it my best shot. So, but yeah, I really only knew of Acid Rap. I didn't know he had that many actual mixtapes. I did know that Acid Rap was released like only on SoundCloud or something for a while,
It's
right?
on Spotify now.
Yeah, but it like originally was like only
Maybe.
there.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about this area.
Coloring Book, when released, was given a 9.1 on Pitchfork, and it was named Best New Music. So,
Nice.
and it's just my personal favorite. I think it's because that's when I kind of started listening to Chance. Like, I obviously knew
Mhm.
songs on Acid Rap, but when Coloring Book came out, I was actually excited about it, and I like listened to
Right.
it several times through, um, and like had it on playlists and stuff. So I have like that's the
Yeah.
Chance that I listened to is Coloring Book. But we're talking about The Big Day, which was released on July 26th, 2019. So just like almost exactly a month ago. Um,
Mhm.
Chance co-produced every song on the album, which I think is really cool. So he had a hand in not only is his name on the song itself, but he actually puts in the work on his music, which I always appreciate. Um,
Yeah.
but this album is very controversial among diehard Chance fans. So,
Why? Why is that?
so it's lyrically it's good. Like Chance doesn't
Mhm.
disappoint lyrically ever, but
He writes about things,
yes, he
real
does.
things. I do really appreciate that. I did really. Sorry, I'm
No, you're good.
sidebarring that. I don't listen to rap. I don't really like it, but like I so greatly appreciate this like rap as a genre because they actually write about
Yeah,
things. You know? Like if you want to go to like obviously there are a lot of genres where it's like the songs are deeper and meaning and all that kind of stuff, but like rap is such literal poetry
yeah,
set to
yeah.
music, and it's just I greatly appreciate. I don't listen to it, but I just so respect it for what it is
That's
because
why I think you might like.
it's
You
incredible.
might like Brock. So next week, we're doing Ginger by Brockhampton, their newest album, and I think that you'll like them too because it's the underground rappers. Which, even though Chance the Rapper is literally the biggest independent rapper, I still consider him underground because he has that style and that feel. Um,
Mhm.
and Brockhampton has that too, where they actually rap and they actually tell stories through their music. It's not mumble rap. They're not just talking about drinking lean and
Yeah.
getting bitches. Like that's not what they talk about.
Right.
So I
Right.
with this album specifically, I said that the lyrics almost seem redundant because even though every song is about a different thing, every song is also about his wife, his kid, how great his life is, and his music. Like, he just loves his life so much that he can't write about anything else. Which I'm so happy
Yeah.
for him. Like, he just got married this year. His daughter's like 1 or 2. Um, I don't know. He's just like, he's so happy and so in love with his life that he has nothing else to write about, which, like, you can't be mad at.
Right.
And I saw,
Well, and it's like, it's probably, I mean, this is just me speculating because I don't understand the controversy necessarily because I'm not in this world really, but like, I don't know. I mean, are his previous mixtapes a little more deep and a little more about his up and coming and stuff like that? Is that why people are kind of, because this is not a relate. This is not necessarily a relatable.
yeah,
I mean, I guess it could be, but it's like, because like people can love their life, and I'm not saying that like music and stuff has to be sad to be relatable, but it's like, when there's a twinge of it, it's a little easier for normal people to relate
yeah,
to. Does that make
yeah, it does.
sense? Or does that sound bad?
No, it's good.
Like,
So in his, what he said about this album is that, um, he wrote every song about the way that he would feel on his wedding day and how it's like
mm-hmm,
his wedding day is the turning point into adulthood. Like, even though he is an adult, like, he has been an adult, it was like that is the marking point for him into this next
mm-hmm.
chapter of his life. Um, and he said that every song he wanted to give a different emotion that he felt on his wedding day. So, like, there's sad songs because whatever, and then there's like emotional songs because of the emotions that he felt. But then there's happy songs because he's like partying with all of his friends at his wedding and he's marrying the love of his life and this and that and the other thing. So I think that's really cool. And also the skits.
Yeah, that was really
I like
interesting.
the skits.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I was like, that's something I have never heard that done
And
before,
after I read,
and I was
yeah,
like,
after I read about it being how he felt on his wedding day and like things that were happening on his wedding day, the skits made more sense to me. Like some
mm-hmm.
old drunk man stumbling into a room taking pictures of all of these people and trying to give them a life lesson. Like, that's shit that happens at a wedding.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know. I think it was really cool. I think the reason, so Chance obviously does a lot of collaborations, but
Mm-hmm.
this album is a collaboration album to me.
It has. I was like overwhelmed with the amount of people on this
Yeah.
album. I mean, I think it's cool, but I was like, Jesus, like
And I think that that's
there's
why it's controversial because it's not just a Chance album. Like,
yeah.
he's had features in the past and like everyone has features, but every single song on this album except for the skits had features, and that's why I think people don't like it as much as his other albums.
But I think that that's cool
Yeah,
though because he's like he to me he doesn't strike because like there's so many musicians out there that they think that they're gods because they make music, and I'm like he does not strike me as that, and like he has people like Death Cab, like he has Death Cab for
I
Cutie on
know.
here. Like, who would have ever thought in a million
I love
years
it so much.
that Death Cab for Cutie would do a feature on a rap album? Like that's just so cool how he incorporates like people who are very, very like deep into other genres, and like
Yeah,
known in other genres and like have never really gone out of it. Like he has them on here doing stuff, and I think that's really cool. And he just doesn't like to me that just shows like he's like I want to share my art with other people. I want to make art. I want to work with people because I like these other people are also talented, and he doesn't think that he's like better or superior. That's just the kind of person that he strikes me
right.
as.
And then he has people like,
So,
so his brother's on this album. His brother's a rapper too. He has a little brother named Taylor Bennett.
mm,
He's on track 8, Rue, which I really like that song. Um,
mm-hmm.
it's the one, the beginning of it is kind of weird and like, welcome to my kitcheny. and then it goes into like a somber rap
Yeah.
song. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. His brother's on that song, and he's like a really like lesser known, like really only the people who know that he is Chance's brother listen to him. Like not a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
just like are Taylor Bennett fans. Like it's kind of weird.
Right.
Um, but then he has people like Smino, who is like he's like a middle tier when it comes to like fame with rap right now. And then he's got
Mm-hmm.
John Legend, who's a huge like household name, and then DaBaby,
Yeah.
who's newly skyrocketing, and then Meg the Stallion, who's newly skyrocketing. Like he's got a lot of really big names and a lot of really small names, and I really like that.
Yeah. It seems so hand selected, and each one of them, like the way he features them is so specific to. I feel like I'm not making sense, but like the way he features them is specific both to his style and to the features style. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense? Like he somehow just like has this fine line of managing to pull them both together to like work really
Yeah.
well, which is cool.
Did you
But
did you listen to the last track with Nicki Minaj? So she's on actually on two tracks on this album.
mhm.
That
Mhm.
is easily the strongest verse she's had in a long time. Like I don't know if you looked up or like paid attention to the lyrics of it, but it's actually like a really really strong verse from Nicki Minaj, which she
Yeah.
hasn't done in a very long time. So I enjoyed that.
Go Nikki.
My favorite. Do you want to talk about your
My
favorite?
Oh, yeah, I know my favorite. My favorite was the Big Day, the title track. I mostly it's because I really like Francis and the Lights. And I feel like he sings a lot on this one. I like when he sings, and I like the kind of talking singing. It's like very
Mm-hmm.
soothing. And I feel like there was a lot of this on this, and like the style, like the Francis and the Lights production style is super
Yeah.
cool, and it was just super heavy on this song, and I really liked it. So yeah, that was my favorite. I also liked there is a Legend of Zelda reference. I think it's Eternal. I don't remember which song, but it's when it goes, "Hey!" You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
I
about?
do.
That's the little navy fairy in Legend of
Nice.
Zelda. When you're playing it, then the fairy wants to say something to you, it'll go, "Hey!" And so I was like, that's fun.
Well, I don't know if you heard in uh, the beginning of All Day Long, the first track on the album with John Legend. He says he booked a show at the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Good. Man.
I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner. I can't even say it.
Well,
I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Me too.
I don't know. He just like he's very playful with his lyrics, and I wrote in here. I can't dislike any Chance stuff because something about his voice makes me so happy. Like he
Hmm.
just has so much joy in his voice.
You can really, yeah, you can hear the love behind his music in his
Yes.
music, which doesn't happen too super
And you can tell
often.
he's having fun,
You
which is
know?
I love Hot Shower because
Mm-hmm.
he's having so much fun. Dude, like the dudes in it get me. And the little part in it that goes, that don't even make no fucking sense. That's now a TikTok sound,
Good.
which is great. Um,
God.
All Day Long is probably my
TikTok.
favorite, but I put
Mm-hmm.
honorable mentions to Eternal partially because I love Smino, um, and partially because it's a good song. And then I like Hot
Mm-hmm.
Shower because it's fun to like dance to and it's just fun to listen to. And then I also honorably mentioned Handsome because I like anything that Meg Thee Stallion does right now. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just another fun song to listen to.
Yeah. I second that. I mean, I didn't listen to this album too many times, like I said, because this is not something that I
Mm-hmm.
listen to, but he did manage to warm up even the coldest heart against, like, the coldest heart towards rap. He warmed it up a little bit. Not much, not enough for me to listen to it again, but he did it a little bit.
Did you like the Death Cab song?
Yeah, I did. I genuinely did. I did like the music. It's just not something that I can listen. It's just not one of those things that I listen to. But like, if somebody else was playing it, I'd be like, you know, like, okay. But like, I'm not gonna like just put in my headphones or like clean the toilet or something and listen to this.
See, I would.
I don't know why I said clean the toilet, but like I cleaned the toilet today, so I guess that's why.
See, I would put on Hot Shower and clean my house. Like that's like I want to listen to upbeat, like fun rap music when I clean.
Yeah, I listened to Small Town Murder while I cleaned
Very
today.
Nice.
Because I like to stress myself out.
I've been binge watching Mindhunter since like 5 p.m. yesterday.
I need to start it.
The second season just came out, and
is it scary?
It's about murders.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really good. I think you'd like it.
I want to.
There are some.
Yeah, I probably would. I should make Luke.
There are some crime scene photos which are gonna make you squirm, but
actually, though, I mean, I know it's not true crime, but like I've watched true crime and seen crime scene photos and not.
No, this is true crime.
Oh, it is true crime?
Yeah, like the whole thing is they're FBI agents in the 70s and they're interviewing serial killers. Before.
No, I know, but it's not like a real life. Is it realistic? Is it based on a real event?
Yeah, like they interview like they're gonna.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I thought it was a fictional
series. Like the episodes that I'm watching right now are about BTK.
Well, see, that makes me even more excited. Literally, if it's a documentary or something real, goriness does not bug me. But if it's some horror film, I don't know why. I'm just really fucked up.
The second episode and like the whole season, they talk to Edmund Kemper.
Ew.
And like just a bunch of other people, and they're gonna talk to Manson in the second season.
Well, you know where I am immediately going after
it's on Netflix.
Recording this. Immediately.
I guess I don't have a whole lot more to say about the album because I liked it, but it's like not my favorite Chance album. I just said I like the album as a whole. Is it his best work? Absolutely not.
Is it
Is it his best work? Absolutely not. Is it good? Of course it is. Because it's Chance and he wouldn't put out shit music. He just wouldn't do that.
Yes.
So, those are my closing statements. Any questions? Didn't think so.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I can't hear you, bitch.
Just kidding. Shut up. We can't hear you. We don't care.
You guys can tell us what you thought about the Chance album on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Anywhere that we are, you can ask or tell.
We're in a lot of places.
YouTube.
But we're also not really. So we're in
we're everywhere.
We're in a lot of places, but not a lot of people know that we're in places. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your neighbors, tell your neighbor's gerbil. Tell your neighbor's cat. Tell your neighbor's grandmother.
Tell your pool boy.
They'll probably tell your pool boy. Tell your
grocery clerk. Your hairstylist.
Tell your
barista.
Your chiropractor.
Tell your
orthodontist.
Your FBI agent of choice.
Tell your FBI agent of choice. Tell your weird uncle that's in prison.
Tell your pizza delivery man.
Tell the tortilla presser at Chipotle.
Tell the girl that works in the plant section at Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yes. Speaking of the plant section, so listen, this is a side story because this needs to go on longer. So today I went to Menards to get potting soil, and I was checking out, and the guy, I'm a terrible person because I'm very nice, and like, you know, I work in retail, and I will like talk to customers sometimes if I'm feeling it. But like I despise when people interact with me more than what is like the basic necessity. Like say hi, like you can say hi, how are you? And you can say how are you paying? And then that's the only interaction that we need to have. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just a terrible person. And okay, I was actually telling my mom this yesterday. I describe myself as an introvert, just not a shy person. Because, like, I really am not good at, like, social interaction stuff. Like, I can handle it on the surface level, but inside, I am, like, just, I want to die. So, this guy, all of that just to say that this man at Menards goes, how's Sunday treating you? And I said, it's fine. And then he asked me about the potting soil. I said, yeah. I said, well, it's a nice day, so I'm going to repot some of my plants. That's why I'm buying this. And then he goes on to tell me this long story about how he like made a mistake and he came in 2 hours early and now he has to work this 10-hour shift and he's just so upset. And I was just standing there holding my potting soil and my receipt while he explained this to me. And I was just like, he got done and I was like, okay, that's well, I'm gonna go. Bye.
That reminds me.
And I've been thinking about it all day.
Evan and I were at Walgreens because we needed to get a card for somebody. And there was a man yelling on the street that this was his block. And if you ain't got nothing to sell, you need to keep on moving. And he had a fresh black eye because before we had gotten there, just minutes before we got there, he was in a fist fight. And so we're waiting in line because, of course, there's only one cashier and there's like 20 people at this fucking Walgreens. And we're all just watching him because it's all windows and he's just going up and down the street yelling at people. And this guy comes up behind Evan and I. And you can imagine how uncomfortable Evan is during this whole situation. He goes, he's telling us about how this guy needs to stop doing this, and he knows because he was on the street for 6 years, but now he's on food stamps and he got $800, so he's taking his girlfriend grocery shopping. She can buy whatever she wants because she is also on food stamps, but he's got $800, so they're going grocery shopping. And then he said, but it looks like it's gonna rain, and I said, nope, it's not gonna rain. And I pulled out my weather app and I said, see, no rain. And he said, oh boy, that makes me happy. And he goes, what about tomorrow? And I said, nope, there's no rain. He goes, can I see? I said, sure, here you go. And I just held it up and he goes, wow, that makes me happy. I'm going to take my girlfriend shopping some more. I said, how many groceries does she need? And then he just wouldn't stop talking. And then I just kind of stopped answering him. And then he looks at Evan and he goes, you can't take her anywhere. And Evan goes, uh-huh. And then he finally stopped talking to us.
God. I want to have one more sidebar story because that story reminded me of the time when Luke and I think I probably told you this because it was a while ago, but the time when Luke and I were getting my oil changed and this old ass man, like elderly crepe paper skinned man, like he sat down next to Luke and he's like, I'm a comedian.
Yes, I remember this story.
Do you remember this? Did I tell it on the podcast or did I just tell you?
I don't remember. But he told you a really bad joke, didn't he?
He did. He told us this joke that he made up, and it literally didn't have a beginning, middle, or end. It was just him like kind of talking, and then he like got done, and so like we only knew he was finished because he started like cackling, and we were like, ha 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 ha. And he's like, I wrote that myself, and we were like, oh okay. And he like said the word ass, and then like reached over towards Luke, and he reached towards me and he's like, pardon me, I don't mean to offend the ladies. And then started talking to Luke. And I was just like, what? And this went on for like 15 minutes because we were just stuck in this little room waiting for my oil to get changed. And they finally came out and got us. And like as we're walking out of the little room, he's like still yelling more jokes at us. And we're like, bye, thanks for the stories. It was the worst day of my life, needless to say.
That sounds pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was miserable. All right. Anyway, that's enough.
You guys
You should
can
go.
listen to us, listen to more episodes, older episodes, newer episodes next time on Spotify, Anchor, and where you can find a podcast. Next week we're doing Ginger by Brockhampton. Leah's not gonna like it, but maybe
Yep.
she will if she looks into the lyrics because they're good. Um,
Leah's not gonna like it, but she might also change her mind. I might not like it, but I'm sure I will greatly
you
respect
should
it.
get on Genius and listen. Like, look at the
Okay.
lyrics and listen to a couple of them.
I like how at the bottom of the document it just says episode 69
Well, we wrote that
TikTok.
note so we don't forget.
Right. Man, I hope
If
we
you had
do.
feelings about forgetting to listen to episode 69, this is your reminder that in 9 more weeks, we're going to be doing a TikTok song
9
episode.
more weeks. We're doing a TikTok episode. Maybe we'll
Speedy
even
walk.
make a TikTok.
Oh, boy. Oh, my
I made a
God.
TikTok the other day. It's private. Nobody can see it
You
except me,
guys,
but I made it.
there's a girl from my high school who's trying to be TikTok famous.
Oh,
You dog.
Jesus.
I'm going to send you her TikTok account so you can see it.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what my profile picture is on TikTok? Wait, one more thing. It's the Barbie wrapped in a blanket that says "See you in court." All right, that's all. I'm gonna stop recording now because the world hates us and I
Okay,
hate me.
bye.